Yo! Video games.
Good morning, everyone. It's Matt here from YoVideogames, and I'm here to react and discuss of a new trailer that just got announced this morning, and that is for Ghost of Yotei, one of my most anticipated games. Now, this kind of came without warning. We had no idea this was coming, and they just sort of, hey, unceremoniously, hey, here's a new trailer. Here's the release date. Have a good time. So I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna react to it. I have not seen it. This is gonna be all new to me. One thing I know is the release date because they already spoiled that for me. So let's watch this and see how we feel.
Unreal.
In-game cinematics.
A wandering spirit seeking vengeance.
Who are you? I thought we killed your whole family.
The snake. The Oni. The Kitsune.
Kitsune.
The spider. The dragon. Lord Saito.
What are we going to do with this one, Saito?
I'm sorry it came to this, little wolf.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that? It means one who is easily lost in the hunt.
Color.
I have to go home. Back where all this started.
October 2nd. Obviously a little bit later than I would have liked, but hey, as someone who's been going through Assassin's Creed Shadows, I really missed the color palette from the original Ghost of Tsushima, because while Assassin's Creed Shadows is a technically very good looking game, it is also a very dull looking game as well, especially how much it seems to want to force you to wander around at night, and with the storms constantly coming up. We saw no real, I mean, she has that, I forget what the name of the instrument is, but she has an instrument with her, but we haven't seen her like playing the instrument, so I wonder if it'll have the same mechanic as the flute in the first game, when you could use that to change the weather. And I hope that's a mechanic that really stays, because as crazy and cool as these modern day open world games are, and it's nice they want to show off all the different weather dynamics. Eventually, I get tired of looking at rain. If I wanted to look at rain, I'd go live in Seattle. We didn't see I was actually surprised we saw so little actual gameplay in this trailer. It was all very cinematic, so we're still kind of in that this is a game and it's cinematic and it has this stuff. You know, we saw the Sinister Six here again, very similar to Assassin's Creed Origins. I mean, even using the Onryo name. I'm not really too concerned about that. It's, you know, we see our villain, which is interesting this time because now there's some inner clan battling going on. So it's early 1600s. So I'm assuming, you know, start of the Edo period. This is probably something related to the, you know, the warring states or whatever of the 1500s in Japan. I'm not really super well versed in that period of history, so for Japan in particular. So, but I imagine there's probably, you know, it probably has something to do with something of that, of like the warring states period or whatever. We do know that this game takes place in what is now, you know, Yotei, which, what a great shot there. But yeah, like we know it's kind of like modern day Hokkaido. We know that it's sort of the Wild West. This was a lawless area. It wasn't really under anyone's direct control or command. So it kind of gives me a very True Grit vibe, where it's like, okay, this person killed her family and they escaped into some sort of like unlawful territory, and she's gonna go hunt them down. So it's kind of got a bit of a vibe like that going on. Again, they're obviously going real hard in on the colors and stuff, although that looks like a very, very, I don't want to say civilized, but like a very well-built castle there for a lawless territory. But again, yes, color, this is what I missed. Like even the night shot, because here's the thing, like this game is hyper stylized realism. Like it's still a realistic art style, but it is a very hyper stylized, especially with its color palette, versus Assassin's Creed Shadow, which is going for like absolute realism, which I know. As far as like gameplay, the only thing I noticed besides, okay, yeah, we're seeing new weapon types, which was a big part of, I would say, Tsushima's sort of, if anything could be improved, it was the fact that you only had the katana, you had the 4 stances, and, you know, battles, by the end of that game, you were feeling real samey on the combat. So we're seeing different weapon types here. You know, there was like a spear, there was the like the chain thing right there. I forget what that's called. I have it in Assassin's Creed as well. This looked really good because I'm like, okay, this stuff was like, oh, this is starting to look painterly almost, like not like we're even trying to be realistic anymore. We're trying to have like a painted postcard look to this little thing here. So that excites me a lot. You know, we see General Katana. Now, we do see here, I saw that, the spin, got the spins. Dual Katana, which I'm very happy that's in there. I'm very excited to try this style out. This is definitely the way I would like to go. You know, I enjoy a good dual blade, so I'm going to be jumping in all over that. And then we saw some little effect here, and I assume this is going to probably be a major part of the game, and that is flashback sequences. This is probably their sort of attempt at like, okay, this is what the PS5 can do. You know, like where it's like it's the same area, but you go back in time, you know, and you see how much it's changed like instantly with the power of the PS5 and the NVMe drive. Cool. Whatever. But yeah, I assume this is going to be a sort of ongoing mechanic, possibly a sort of story progression mechanic. You come to a place, and then you get a flashback, and then you turn into, yeah, like younger version. Everything's all pretty. The tree's still there. Flowers are blooming. House is still put together. Someone's playing. The instrument she carries on her back, like earlier, as you can see here. So, yeah, I mean, I can't say that I'm like, oh my gosh, like something was, there was no major revelation here. It was, yep, that's more Ghost. And that's a good thing. It is a little later in the year than I thought. I mean, it pretty much confirms that they announced the game about a year in advance, and now they're following up with their second trailer. I hope to see more of this game, possibly in the summer months at the game show circuits and stuff. Wherever Sony wants to. It's obvious it's a big deal for me. I don't know how big a deal it is for Sony necessarily, but yeah, it's a good trailer, and it's kind of something I feel like Sony kind of needed, because they've been kind of quiet lately, and we don't really know what they're doing. We kind of know what they're doing, but like we're a little vague on when anything is happening right now with Sony. You know, we know they have like a Wolverine game. We know they have like other stuff, but you know, we have like absolutely no idea of like when any of this stuff is supposed to come out. So this was a needed thing by them to say like, hey, our big giant open world game for the year is coming out October 2nd. It also kind of positions it far away from the Switch 2 launch, but we also have no idea how close this is going to position it to the Grand Theft Auto 6 launch. Now, I don't care about GTA 6 at all, personally, but however, the rest of the human world cares deeply about Grand Theft Auto 6. So I wonder if Sony is just hedging their bets or just know something we don't. A lot of us don't think GTA 6 is even going to make it this year. I'm kind of in that boat too. I don't really think GTA 6 is going to make it this year, but if it does, and it is still like a November or God forbid an October release as well, that's not great for Ghost of Yotei, because they're both open world games, mature rated games. There's definitely going to be a lot of crossover synergy between the consumer bases between those two titles. But, you know, hey, Sony's basically just saying, you know what? October 2nd. Maybe it was like we can't wait anymore. We can't like, maybe they were hoping to get a solid firm date out of GTA 6, and maybe they don't have it, or maybe they do have it and they're like, well, okay, well, we know it's getting delayed, so let's just put our game out in October. It's fine. I guess it's fine too, because I don't really want I don't want this game to be rushed. You know, I don't want this game to be shoved out quickly. You know, so they can meet a deadline, they can meet some sort of shareholder meeting. You know, I would rather they take their time. They have certainly taken their time on this game, because you know it'll be a good 5+ years since the original Ghost of Tsushima. Maybe even more. But I think it's about. I think that came out July or August 2020. So it'll be about a good 5+ years between titles, which seems about right for massive open world projects of this scale. So yeah, I'm still very excited. I wish we got to see a little more of the actual game. It was very cinematic heavy. Again, we're still sort of. It still feels like they're really, you know, driving the point home. Like, you know, this is going to be a very cinematic, very good looking, you know, very revenge tale driven game. And I get that. I feel like I don't need, like, okay, if we get to trailer 3 and we're still talking about, you know, how, you know, the ghost was wrong, she's out for revenge. I get it. Okay. Like, I don't really need much more than what we've been shown, which is, yeah, they killed your whole family. They thought you were dead. Go get your revenge. That's it. That's all I need. I don't need any more. The rest, you can explain it to me in the game when it comes out. I do not need to hear any more about the story of this game. I do need to see more of the actual gameplay. I would like to see a more in-depth breakdown of what the combat has, you know, going for it, how it's changed, how the different weapons work. I would like to see any other new non-combat gameplay mechanics being added into this title. I would like to see that. That's what I want. I want like the full breakdown experience of the gameplay now. So cool. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing so far. But would like to see a raw gameplay breakdown in the future from Sony. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you on the channel. Later, dudes.